What's going on, guys? It's Sunday, January 28, 2018. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I build my watch list, how I use Equityfeed to build those watch lists. I'm going to show you my scans. I'm going to go through the chart setups that I look for, that way that you guys can be prepared the next day just the way that I am as well, and go from consistently losing to consistently profiting. So let's jump right into it.
I'm just going to start off with saying that building a watch list is probably the single most crucial thing that I did to get consistent again. So I used to try to wake up and look at what was hot, and I would look at it and go, okay, what's the setup? What am I going to play? There's volume. It's coming in. Where's the resistance? Where's the support? And I was like, bah. And then I would look at all these traders in the chat rooms, and I would see that, oh my God, they're making money on it. Oh my God, they're getting it. And then I'd screw it up. I'd screw up. And so my consistency came from building a watch list the night before, looking for those setups that I outline in the watch list the next day. And if it doesn't work out the way I wanted it to, I don't touch it. And it simply just came from being selective and paying attention to the setup. And if the setup does not play out the way you wanted it to, because you know the patterns and you know how they're supposed to work, and if they don't play out how they're supposed to work, then you don't touch it. And when you have that selection and you have that, you protect yourself in the long run. So let's jump into this. So my scanner that I use is Equityfeed. So this is the kind of like they call it the launch pad. This is where you can find stocks, follow stocks, trade stocks. They have integration. I don't use this, nor do I recommend it. Integration into a scanning platform is just, it's one more bridge to communicate to the stock exchange that has to pass through, and it's just not. It can slow things down, and if it fails, your trades don't get executed. I use DOS Trader Pro. I integrate that into Interactive Brokers. I highly recommend it. Everybody else should do it. DOS Trader is the single best trading platform out there, charting as well, watch lists, the whole nine. It's the bee's knees. It's everything. It's all that it's cracked up to be. So anyway, this is Equityfeed, and how you do this, I'm going to show you guys my scans. I'm going to show you everything else in that way that you know what to look for. So there's a couple different things. There's like a news streamer. So if I want to look at like market news, I can sort, like price ranges and things like that. I don't use that because I don't really play news. I'll look at it, but I don't really. I don't base my trade bias off of the news. I base it off of the chart. You can go to Stock Scanner or Filter Builder. I go to Filter Builder. The Filter Builder, what it does is these are my saved filters. So I've got listed intraday OTC, listed and OTC nightlies. I have a little oversold scan that I like to use. This is a swing setup that I play. Just for consistency. Pre-market scan, I'll run that too. And at market open, my screen over here on the right side, I'll have my pre-market scan up here, my intraday listed right here, my intraday OTC right here, and I'm just looking at the stuff that pops up, and then I'm looking at the chart, and really all I'm looking for is a breakout. That's the only day one setup that I will play. I don't short day one runners. I've gotten murdered doing that, and so you play with fire, you get burned, and I've been burned too many times. You can select the markets right here. So you've got NASDAQ, NYSE, MX, OTCBB, pink sheet. So I'll just show you how I run my listed scans. Markets, uncheck those. Stock types, I unselect all of that crap because I don't want to see any of these, preferred or bankrupt or warrants or ADRs. I hate ADRs, American Depository Receipts. Don't trade them. You're better off not. I look at regular securities, unlisted stocks only, and I have these three markets selected. I don't select sectors. You can if you want to. You can filter the scan by a watch list. I don't do that. News types, you can check the box, has news, has filings, has earnings, today or 3 days. I don't do any of those. Time frame, this is like intraday price action, and if you wanted to, like track momentum or something, but I don't do any of that. So price data, I'm going to choose price. last greater than or equal to, and I'm going to make this 50 cents. I don't like trading anything under 15 cents that's listed because if it's under 50 cents and is listed, it's likely going to have a delisting notice pretty soon. So I don't pay any attention to them very much. So I'd like to weed that out. But I do want to catch stuff that's, cheaper than $1 that, gets a delisting notice, because a lot of those stocks will spike because it's a little conspiracy that, they promote themselves up to get their price back above $1. So, they squeeze pretty good. So anyway, I will add that right there. I'll go back to here, and I actually don't choose price value not to exceed. So I don't choose something less than or equal to whatever. I don't do that because I'll trade a higher price stock, and I'll treat it like a penny stock. So I just want to see charts. That's it. And percent change greater than 15. I don't choose 10 because it's just not what I look for. I want, listed stocks that are having big runs, getting really overextended. I want them to move a lot. I don't want to see choppy crap. So that's up 10% on the day. So then that's nothing. So percent change greater than 15. And then after I'm done there, that's all I'm going to do on the price data. Liquidity. This is the single most important area. So don't get caught in illiquid stocks. On this, I look for dollar volume. I don't look for share count volume. I look for dollar volume. So on the day, I want it to be greater than 3 million. Why 3 million? I don't know. It's just been 3 million. You kind of weed out that illiquid stuff that is, popping up on lighter volume that, it's not a lot of dollar volume. So there's not a lot of money flowing in and out of the trade. 3 million is just what I look for. And now days trades. Greater than or equal to, not that many. 3,000. This is still going to give you some illiquid junk that, does trade decent dollar volume, but it's just not meh. It's just what I look for. So 50 cents or greater, percent change greater than 15%, days dollar volume over 3 million, days trades over 3,000. That's going to weed out the illiquid junk, and I'm going to sort it with only these listed scans, and I'm going to run the filter. And that pops up with these results right here. So we'll just kind of put that up here in the corner, and then we will build the OTC scan. OTCs are like my bread and butter. So I'm just going to show you my OTC nightly scan, and I'll drop down the filter text here because I just showed you how to build one. I'm not going to show you how to build another. So OTC nightly scan. If you guys want to pause the video and write this down, you can. There's what I scan for. That's how I scan for it. This is percent change greater than 0. You can actually sort this down to price data, and you can go change and do net change. These are just the difference. Net change is like a penny. Percent change is obviously a percentage. So if you want to do that, you can do that. It'll get you the same result. Really, all I want to see what's up on the day, and what does the daily chart look like? And I'm looking for two things. I'm looking for something near in a breakout, or something that is overextended. Now, one thing I want you to look at is the stock types. This is where I do dive in. I look at regular securities. I'll unselect all, and then I'll check regular securities, stock split, delinquent, foreign, and bankrupt. That means that the fifth letter will be either a Q for bankrupt, D for split, E for delinquent, or F for foreign. So, and then I will run that filter. And here's what we get. Really long list. So that's how I use the filter builder. These are the two scans I end up with, and this is what I'm going to go build my watch list off of. So I'll close that down. Jump over here to my other window. Pardon the cat in the background. He likes to talk a lot. So this is stockcharts.com. I use stockcharts.com to look at the charts simply because I can zoom to it pretty quickly. You can use your broker, but I actually post my watch list to my blog thing on Profitly, so I use stock charts to be able to quickly save a image. So it makes life easy, and I like the charting. So this is what I'll do. I just type in BSPM. So we're going to start from the first ticker, and we're going down. So BSPM had a big run. Let me get to my penny stock thing. I don't like all those moving averages and stuff that it populates automatically. So BSPM is 17 million shares traded. Broke out over 252 over the last 6 months. I look at a 6-month chart. I could look at a year if I wanted to, just by doing that. Update. There's the year chart. So it really broke out above 309. But there wasn't any volume over here, so you want to pay attention to the volume spikes, where the top was on those volume spikes. And so 252 was a real breakout level in my opinion, because that was the last day of significant volume. So it's a breakout above 252. It squeezed all the way to 6 or 597, as you can see right there. And so I'll put this on my watch list because I like the chart. It's in new territory. It had a big pullback after the end of the day, so I'll be watching this at pre-market. If we get a spike up towards like 5, I'll be watching that area to begin a short, just using a round number with this previous high a day as my risk. So I'll start in with a small short at 5, see how it reacts around 550 if it keeps pushing, and, start adding in and hopefully end up with an average, somewhere around 540. Risking this 597, obviously, for $2 to $3 a downside. So I'm willing to risk that. So I choose this penny stock watch list, and then I will get this. It gives me a 6-month chart with a 650 by 500 width. I right click it, save image as, and it gives me this, and then I save that. Once I save that, then I come to my Profitly page. I then click post watch list. I click that. It gives me this window right here, and I start pasting those in by clicking insert images, and I work my way through it. This is the watch list that I came up with right here. I'll walk you guys through that one here in a second, but BSPM, let's keep trucking. So next one, ABAX. I can move this keyboard. I can't freaking touch anything or type anything. Sorry. Okay, so ABAX, and now it sounds like I'm really far away. So ABAX is a beautiful breakout above 65 here. Nice breakout chart. But the reason why I'm not going to look to short this is because the volume is only 900,000, and though it is a $75 stock, the volume is only 900,000, so it's not super liquid. It could be a little choppy. So that means that the panics are going to panic bigger, and the spikes are going to spike smaller, in my opinion. Or you could end up with a really wide spread. So, you're bouncing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cents a share in between just the bid and the ask. And, that's not good. So you want, a penny, 2 pennies, something really tight, so that if you have to jump out really quick, you don't have to sacrifice much profit or loss. So ABAX, beautiful breakout chart, but volume kind of sucks. WRLD. World Acceptance Corp. Finance, consumer finance is the sector, so I'm not going to touch that. I don't like finance stocks. It's just a personal thing. NYSZ has been just a bitch of a stock. Had an incredible run from, down here in the 60s all the way up to 358 and pulled all the way back here to $1.50 and then started bouncing and consolidating. And to be honest with you, it looks like it's building towards another breakout. But, look at this volume here on this 70 million. It's going to have so many sellers up here that obviously already rejected it down here at 296. So I'm going to be paying really close attention to this around the $3 level. So I'll add that to my watch list by clicking Save Image As, and then I'll save that. So I like him as NYSZ. So let's look at the next one, CAPR. Nice little 24% pop. So we're up from 160s to 210s. We've got a 6 million resistance right here at 320 roughly. And then we've got a 6 or 7 million resistance again right here at 288. That heavily sold off. And then let's see, where was it above 10 million last? Right here at the top at 425. So I'm not going to touch this unless we get a couple more green days. So I'll put it on watch, but I don't see any breakouts, and it's not close to a resistance level. Now, hear me out on this. If we spike straight up tomorrow morning on a morning spike to 320, I'm going to be using 350 as my risk, and I would actually take a short at 320. Tiny share count. I might trade 1,000 shares, and I'm risking getting in the 320s and getting out 350, 355, 360, something like that. And I'm just using kind of these magnet areas as a parabolic resistance point for the stock to likely pull back, because you got to consider that everybody that bought, let's annotate this so you can understand, everybody that bought over here in this time, up here in the 3s and 4s, when this thing goes up there to that, these people that bought in all this volume area, there's still people that are holding this thing because they're like, oh my God, it can come back. That's why this spike failed, because everybody that was long in here started selling their shares in here for, a smaller loss, a break-even point, or maybe even a profit. So you've got to consider that mentality. But, you can't underestimate stuff like this. So that is what I'll be watching on CAPR. No changes. So I'll actually put that on watch by clicking Save Image and moving on there. Okay. And now PULM. Palm. So Palm building up to a 267 resistance level right here, but only on about 6 million shares. So that's not a big resistance amount of volume. That's not a big amount of volume for resistance to base off of, considering that, it just traded 5.2 million shares. So, and closed rather green. Volume is a big indicator. And so, if this thing does get in the 250s, 260s, I might short a parabolic into that move. But if it goes bink, if it does this, like let's say tomorrow it goes like this at market open, it goes boom, and then it goes sideways or maybe a little bit more, and then it chops here, and then we rip here, but then we consolidate here, and we start doing this number and going like this and da-da-da-da-da, and then all of a sudden we get this bump, and now we're finally in the 260s. You know what I mean? This is slow price action. I will only short it if it goes like this. Small pull. No, fucking piece of crap. Small pullback. Big spike again. Small pullback. And a big spike into that level. If the price action in the morning looks like that, I will short starting in the 240s, 250, 250 area, 240s, 250s, risking this 267 level. If 267 breaks, I'm going to cut it and I'm going to move on. There's no risk. There's no reason for me to risk being squeezed. So, if it goes like this, I'm not touching it. That sucks. If it goes like this, straight up at market open, pulls back, straight up, pulls back, straight up, I'm going to look to short in this third push. So 1 push, 2 push, 3 push. So that's where I'm going to be looking to short if we get that move. If we don't, I don't really care, because look at this. $2 down to where, let's consider that, 50% of the spike is like here at 170. So I short it I get to cover in a perfect world at 170. If I screw up the trade, I'm going to end up getting short, in the 190s, something like that. If I shorted a gap down, and then I'm going to cover hopefully in the 170s. I mean, 20 cents a share. I don't like risking this potential upside right here. Like if I made that red, like that potential upside for that potential reward. That much upside for that much downside. That sucks. That freaking sucks. No reason to do that. So but again, if you get a parabolic move like this in the morning, stocks like this will pull back. They will pull back. And when they pull back, that's when I look to cover. I'm not going to hold it all day. I'm just going to cover really quickly. As soon as it shows me a profit that I'm happy with. If I got it up here in the 250s, I'd look for a quick snap back to 220, 210, something like that, and I'd be quick to exit. And if I got that pull, you better bet I'll be taking profits. Okay, anyway, so PULM's on watch for a parabolic up into the 250 area. So that's all of our listed stocks. And now let's work through our OTCs. So first one on watch, and I'm just going to type it in for all, just for the fun of it. TWMJF, way too overpriced for me for an OTC. And I'm just not that big of a fan of this one. So if it breaks 35.88, cool, great. It's a nice first green day setup today. Could have caught a quick $2 a share, but I mean, it's pretty pricey, so I don't really like it. ACBFF. Building towards another breakout. The last breakout was rather weak, over 1183, and only got 50 cents higher. That kind of sucks. So, but you can't underestimate them. So it's not near a breakout yet. It's not near a breakdown. It's not overextended. It's just there. So I'll watch it over the next couple days, but only if it hits my scans will I take note of it. So moving on. POTN. Oh, beautiful. Overextended. So in something like this, it's overextended from 29 cents all the way up here to 85. It did have a red day right here, but it recovered and just ran all the way up here to nearly $1. So it got as high as 95.70 and 0.957. So if I could get some shares to short and this thing gaps down tomorrow, I'd look to cover into a morning panic. But if I can't get any shares to short, I'll be looking for a morning panic dip buy. So what that looks like is basically like if this were the intraday price action, I'm going to look, let's just draw a vertical line here. Vertical line, let's put a vertical line there. Let's say that that's market open, okay? Market open is that blue line like that, choose it. Okay, so let's say the price action looks like this. Blue. Choose. Okay, so let's say that this is 85. Right there is 85. And tomorrow morning, it literally just goes straight down. Most of the time, you'll get a fake bounce, and then you'll get further downside. So on this one, I'll look for the fake bounce. I might play the fake bounce. Just depends on how big this drop is. So tomorrow morning, if we get a big drop and we end up getting down to like negative 30% on the day, I'm going to start looking for the level 2 to switch from being heavy on the ask on the right side to being heavy on the left on the bid. And I'm going to be looking at the time and sales on level 2 and get ready for that morning panic dip buy. Now, if we panic midday, I'm not touching it. If we panic end of day, I'm not touching it from the long side. I will short it any time of the day on a significant crack. So let's say that it goes like this in the morning, and we could pull back a little bit here. Let's just connect that. And then we get a little bit of a push here, and we break back towards 1, and then 1 rejects again, and we start consolidating up here. And then we put in a higher or lower high. We bounce around, we get a little bit, we tinker back up here, nothing there, dink, dink, dink. And then we get this. Look at what it's forming. It's forming a line in the sand is what you call it. So it's forming a support area right there. When that support area cracks on an overextended stock like this, guess what's going to happen? It's literally going to go boom. And it's going to crack like a son of a gun. And you've got to be ready to short right here. So this is what you look for. And this will generally happen, most of the time it happens after 11 a.m. Eastern time, sometimes 10 a.m. But it's generally around 11. And you'll get a big panic, bounce, more panic. And then it just will likely go like this all the rest of the day. It could fade off, but whatever. Anyway, so that's the short setup I'll look for if we gap up or just open even, push, pull, push, reject around 1 again, and then bounce around, and we start forming a line in the sand like this. And I'll look to short this weakness and then cover into the panic. So if we get a straight morning panic, I'm looking to long it with a quick entry and exit. And if it does not panic and gets a little bit more of a push, I'll be looking for it to form a line in the sand to get short intraday, and I'll cover into the panic. I will not hold this overnight because this thing does not like to die. So that's the play on POTN. Moving on. APHQF. Oh, don't like it. Not near a breakout level, not overextended. HMPQ. Nice overextended chart, but it's a 3-cent ticker. Moving on. CBWTF. I hope you guys understand why we're moving on, because in the short world, you got to put up $2.50 a share of equity in your account to short anything under $2.50. So it's called the 250 rule. And so if I wanted to short a 3-cent stock, I would have to put up a ass load of money to be able to get any size to where the profit would make sense. So, I'm not worried about that. BDRAF. Again, CBWTF, not near a breakout level, not overextended, just trading sideways right now, so boring. BDRAF. Okay, no matches found on that one. And that means I'm just not really going to... I'll pull that up in my brokerage account if that happens, but for the intent of this video, I'm just going to move through it. EMHTF. I got to go back in here. Choose that again. If it breaks above 777, I like it. So ideally, we have another green day before we break this 777 level. But, if we straight up spike into it, I'm not going to buy it. I'll wait for it to consolidate around that level and then see if it breaks it end of day. So that's like kind of on radar, like the back burner. BDRBF. Nice pop. 1.3 million shares, but it's only up from 254. So you see this level right here, 254. It's only up from that level, so it's not really that overextended yet. So if I run this scan again tomorrow and I see BDRBF pop up again and we're up another 15%, 10%, 20%, and we keep pushing, I'll look to short it, after a couple more green days. So HMLSF. Nope. That looks like the same freaking chart of TWMJF, ACBFF, APHQF, CBWTF. I hope you're seeing a trend here with the F at the end. They all look the same. So, SEGO. Nice overextension, breakout play. I missed the breakout. I saw it, missed it. So, I will look for this to top out, gap down, and I'll look for a short in the next few days. So nothing today, though. Nothing tomorrow, though. CTXF. Oh, okay. This day likely was a bad print all the way up here at 89.5. Probably never got that high. So I'm going to really think of this 15 level as kind of like the line in the sand to break out from. Probably like this 15.4 right here. And so if it breaks that 15.4, 15.6 level, which is the day high here, it did, but it did it kind of early, so then it kind of pulled back. So if we get some more continuation of this price action, I'll look to buy a breakout on this. This is the beginnings of a nice breakout chart that can, if you look back at those weed plays, they all start like this. So this one might actually run. So I'll save image as. Same thing there, and I'll put that on watch for a breakout above 15.6. So, PTOTF. Nice breakout at 154. I missed it, but nice little small build up, building support. Breaks at 154, got as high as 165. Didn't close near the day high, so that would scare me for an overnight play on this one on a breakout like that. Because, if you look back at this breakout, it didn't really run. This one, it didn't really run. This one, it did kind of run and pull back. And then this one, it doesn't really move. It doesn't have much of a range. So I wouldn't feel too confident in this if I were in it from the long side. If we had a couple more green days, some more overextension, I'd look for a short. But right now, nothing. Oh, 781 breakout level. And we topped out at 771 today. I like this chart. So we have just had an incredible run up from the 2s all the way to the 7s. So if we break this 781 end of day, closer to the end of the day on tomorrow or the next day, I'm a buyer. So VFFIF, I'm going to put that on watch. So save image as. I will actually save that one because I missed that one on my other scan. Whoops. And I do actually really like that chart. So next one's ANDI. I happen to know that this one does not work on stock charts, so we're just going to move past it. LXRP. I would suggest that you look at that chart, though. It's interesting, but it is very cheap. So it's not near a breakout level, and it's too cheap for overextended shorting. So moving on past it. LXRP. 254 breakout level is what would be nice, but I'm not really going to watch it too much. I'll see if it pops up on my intraday scan, but I'm not really going to pay too much attention to this. So IVITF. Nicely horrible. So 276, big candle up there. So I don't really like this play too much. It's too choppy. Not clean. FRLF. I love this chart. And this is a top potential breakout play for me above 34.8. So I hope you see that level. up there at the right side, so on the top right here. So I would save that one and I'd add it to the watch list. IML, FF. God, there's so many foreign stocks. Again, same freaking pattern with these ACBFFs and blah, 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 blah. This one, I actually kind of like this as so this is kind of like your supernova, where it goes from 80 cents up here to nearly 2. And now it's kind of forming this line in the sand right at $1. So if this thing, snaps nicely on $1, I would actually look for a short through that level to ideally cover back into the 60s. So I kind of actually like this chart for a short. If it were to crack, let me show you that. So this is a pretty reliable type of short right here. Is if it cracks that 1, it's a round number, so a lot of people are going to put their stops right there. So if it cracks that, it could likely just go boom really quick. So when you get these supernovas, here's what they'll look like. They'll go boom, and then they will have the hard crash, and then the bounce will never quite get back to the top because a lot of short sellers will short and risk this high day right here. So it'll likely end up failing before that. So then you get this where it fades off, and now we're starting the beginning of another bounce right here on this green day. But the bounce only lasts 2 days, so we could get another green day tomorrow and then fade off some more. But when we start doing this, we start looking like a little bouncing ball, and we start forming a base right here like that. When that level cracks at any time of the day, you got to be ready to take a short and be ready to cover into some panic like that and take a quick 10% and move on. So IMLFF, I'll actually put that one on watch for a short under $1 a share. And I'm going to save that because I forgot to do that on another one too. So SPRWF. Same chart as those others. Don't care. MYMMF. Kind of a line in the sand around the 275 level right now, but we're into this consolidation phase. So if we cracked this, I don't know. It's too choppy. I'm not really digging this chart too much because of this big wick right here, this little pop down here. It's not even. It's not as even as that IMLFF, but I'm gonna watch it. I can't keep from it. It's just to see what it does. I probably won't even trade it. NXTTF, I freaking hate this company. Oh my God, I hate this company. Ugh, they're the biggest pieces of crap. 225 is a support right here. See that line in the sand at 225? So we're going to watch it. I hate this company. You can watch another video that I did on NXTTF to find out why I despise them. BYOC. Beautiful pump looking chart. Came from freaking sub pennies all the way up here to 14 cents. So do I think we fade off? No, I don't think we. I don't really see anything with this chart because it's small range, cheap, and it's not forming a breakout. Now, if it does this, or where it forms a breakout like it did here, and then right here, I'll watch it and I'll play it. But right now, it's not forming a breakout. So over the next few days, if it consolidates around this 14 level, or if we have another green day and then it starts consolidating up here, whatever it is, I'll put it on watch. So then, not now. RSII. Son of a bitch. Okay, so can't look at that one. RNBA. There we go. Okay, what a beautiful piece of crap. So, never mind. Moving on. ADVT. I like this one for this reason. See this overextension here? But it's cheap. So, what do you look for in the overextended cheap stocks like this? that are really up there. You look to buy the morning panic like I outlined earlier. So ADVT goes on watch for a morning panic dip buy. DCTH. I already know what this chart looks like, but I'm going to show you anyway. Turd. Moving on. FFRMF. Forming another line in the sand at 90 cents. So put it on watch for that line in the sand short. NWKRF, the last one. And I can't even look at it, so thank God. Anyway, so that's how I look at all the charts. And then I'm going to go over here to my watch list. So I'm going to paste all these in. I'm going to write little bits of what I'm looking for. See these other charts that I'm looking at: POTN, WCTXF, SIGO, FRLF, ADVT, BICX, BSPM. Those are the ones I'm looking for. So I'm going to add those other charts that I just did into this, and then I'll be able to reference this at any point. So now let me show you the extra step that I go to. In Equityfeed, let me pull this back up. Let's get rid of this because we're done there. Sorry. Launchpad, watch lists, and you get this right here. If you start here, create a watch list, and you start entering these symbols, they're going to pop up right here. So I'm going to show you my watch list I've already built, which is the one we just built. Here it is. I've saved it as that name right there. I save them all by dates. This one here, and here's why I like Equityfeed to manage your watch list from. If you notice, here's all of my tickers. It's got all the data that I look for. I can quickly look at my watch list the next day, see what's gapping up, see what's gapping down, and I can look to see what type of news that it is released instantly on just these tickers I'm watching. So let's add this chart, that VFFIF, add to list. So now VFFIF will pop up down here if it has any news. Wow, what happened there? Okay, here we go. Now let's go back down to here, IMLFF. Now we're seeing the same thing. We're just adding them onto the watch list because if they have news or something, a filing, PR, you can look at the news types. It's news, filings, promo, and earnings. It'll let you show that stuff. It'll show you that stuff. So MYMMF. No news there. And one more here, NXTTF. God, I freaking hate this company. Oh, they're so pumpy-ish, pumpersons that just drive me crazy. Last and final one, FFRMF. I think these are all Canadian companies too. But anyway, so I end up with a watch list that looks something like this. So this is a rather long watch list, so I won't trade all of these setups. I will watch it. I will look for the ones that have the most volume. So obviously you can look at my dollar volume here. You can see that obviously these are illiquid, rather illiquid. And see these right here, 14 million, 29, 30, 79, 80. See that POTN, how it's got a crap load of dollar volume? That is my top potential watch because it's going to have a lot of dollar volume tomorrow. Seago had decent volume, but it's not near the levels I'm looking for yet. But I'm going to watch it because I want it to extend up. And so, but I can quickly sort by time. So when I sort it with the arrow pointing down, I'm going to see the most recent stuff. So ITUS, I saw this news, this filing pop up immediately, and then the stock gapped down after hours. I didn't short it after hours, but I saw this filing pop up immediately at 1703. And if you look at an intraday chart on ITUS, you're going to see it started gapping down at 1712. after hours. So I saw this news before it ever started gapping down, and it's a filing. So if you click this, it comes up in a window right here. And a Schedule 14A is basically, it's a proxy statement that the company puts out that says they're going to hold a meeting for shareholders, and here's the proposal of the meeting. So how do I zoom in so we don't have to read this tiny ass text? Here we go. Boom. All right, so that's working. Anyway, so here is the actual SEC filing. Stockholders ITUS to quarterly be invited. Here's why it gapped down: to be held at this time, at that area, on this date. Here's what they want to cover. The first thing, to consider and vote upon amendment as amended to increase the number of authorized shares from 24 to 48 million. So they literally want to double the authorized shares. So they want to dilute. They want the ability to dilute the stock, which is bad for shareholders. So it's going to gap down. If they were to do like what Seago did, and where's that filing? This one? This one? Which one? Is it this one? No. It's this right here. See that? Group announces 80% reduction in shares. So here's the actual PR. Fuck me. Here we go. PR. They want to reduce their outstanding. They want to reduce their authorized share count to 20 million. An 80% drop, or an 80% consolidation, because they are trying to show people that they're a real company and that they've got cannabis growth operations that are working, and blah, 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 freaking blah. Now, if you go to their website, Seago, no, actually, let's look at this 8K. So here is their address of principal offices. So the best thing to do is Google that. So let's look that up. Or rather, not just click look up, search with Google. And here's a street view. And this company is based out of Denault's Hardware Plaza. That's a catering store. Pure water. A UPS store. There's the typical pump and dump right there. Every freaking pump and dump there ever is will put a freaking P.O. box in a UPS store. Buy that, and that's their address of executive officers. And it's the biggest piece of crap. Look at that crap, man. Look at that. Old Iva Lee, man. Getting some PR right now. Probably a pretty good restaurant, not going to lie. Oh, San Clemente, you're a beautiful place. God, I wish I could live in California. Look at that. Look at that scenery, man. Look at it. Look at all palm trees, mountains. Wouldn't you love to live up on that house right there? Fuck me, godly. Ugh, I got to get out of Texas. Bargain box, consignment design, flooring store, tile and stone. There's the Google car in the reflection. Coral thrift shop. Some lady walking in. I really hope they're not going to leave their baby out here. Wow. A1 Healthcare. Sweet Respect. There's a I Hope. I'm not sure if that's similar to IHOP. Taco Shack. But yeah. Oh, look, a Wells Fargo. Right across the street. So once they steal all your money, they can go cash it. Fuck me. So stupid, man. This company is just biggest piece of crap. So anyway, that's a cool little trick that you can do. So, Google the address of executive office, see if it's actually a office building, or see if it's, like that, or it's a freaking piece of crap. So here's what they said in the 8K. They said authorized hires to 20 million shares instead of 1 million shares authorized. So if you want to read upon what authorized shares and crap like that means, so I direct you to How to Read SEC Filings by Michael Good and Tim Sykes. That's a freaking valuable DVD, man. and it's rather inexpensive. So I'll put a link in the description to that if you guys want to take a look at it. And if you want a discount on Equityfeed, shoot me a message or a comment or something, and I'll give you a 10% coupon for your subscription. They also do a 2-week trial too. So if you want to use the same stuff I'm using, you can. If you want to. But again, I really like this watch list because it helps you be able to just pull it up the next day. You can do it on any computer anywhere, and you've already got your watch list. And it'll post all the news that is recent, and that way that you can track what's going on. So again, remember guys, stick to your watch list, stick to those plans. If it doesn't work out, don't trade it. Move on to the next one. And if you're wrong every time, figure out why you're wrong, figure out what you need to do to get on the right side, the profitable side of the trade, whether it's flipping from long to short or from short to long. If you think everything's going to drop, but it ends up going up, maybe you should consider not shorting it and looking to buy a breakout. So, but anyway, so I hope this video has helped you guys, and you guys have a wonderful night, and good luck on the trading tomorrow. See ya.